The village of Ravensmoor had always been shrouded in mist, but none was thicker than the veil of mystery surrounding Edgar Hawthorne, the reclusive clockmaker. His shop, nestled at the end of a narrow cobblestone alley, was filled with clocks of every size and shape. Each ticked with unnerving precision, as if they were alive. Nathaniel Blackwood, Edgar's eager apprentice, had always admired the craftsmanship of his master. But one day, while cleaning the back room, he stumbled upon an old, dust-covered box. Inside was a timepiece unlike any he had seen, an ornate pocket watch with intricate designs, its face adorned with strange symbols instead of numbers. Nathaniel couldn't resist winding the clock, just to see if it still worked. As the hands moved, the world around him suddenly froze. Birds halted mid-flight. The sound of ticking clocks became deafening, and even the flickering candle flames stood still. Panicked, Nathaniel fiddled with the watch until time resumed. He ran to Edgar, breathless, to tell him of his discovery. But instead of praise, Edgar's face drained of color. "You fool," he hissed. "You've awakened the Timekeeper's curse." The workshop grew colder as Edgar explained the origin of the cursed timepiece. It was no ordinary watch. It was a relic created by a forgotten cult to manipulate time itself. But with each use, the clock would extract a deadly toll, feeding on the life force of the user or those closest to them. Edgar revealed the true horror. Long ago, he had used the watch to save his dying wife, only to witness her suffer a fate worse than death. The watch claimed her soul, trapping it in a realm beyond time, where she lingered in eternal torment. Edgar had hidden the watch, hoping to protect others from its curse, but now that it had been activated, its hunger for souls would grow insatiable. Nathaniel's heart pounded as Edgar described the phantom, a spectral figure that appeared to mark each use of the watch. The phantom, a harbinger of death, was bound to the timepiece, and its presence meant that someone would soon die. Edgar made it clear the watch had to be destroyed. But such a task was easier said than done. The timepiece could only be shattered in the exact moment between one tick and the next. A near impossible feat. That night, Nathaniel's sleep was plagued by nightmares of the phantom. Its hollow eyes and skeletal grin haunted his dreams. When he awoke, he found his sister, Eliza, standing over him. She had seen the watch and was filled with a mix of fear and curiosity. Despite Edgar's warnings, Nathaniel couldn't resist experimenting with the watch. He showed Eliza its power, stopping time for a brief moment. But this time, the phantom appeared, its eyes fixed on Eliza. Within days, strange things began to happen. Eliza fell ill with a mysterious sickness that drained her vitality. Nathaniel, racked with guilt, knew the curse was claiming her life as payment for his meddling. He had to act fast. Nathaniel sought out Merrick Graves, the village elder, who was rumored to know about the dark arts. Merrick confirmed Edgar's tale and offered one piece of advice. To destroy the watch, Nathaniel would need to confront the phantom in the realm between time, an endeavor that could cost him his life. Armed with this knowledge, Nathaniel returned to the workshop. Edgar, who had grown weaker as the watch's curse resurfaced, could only offer guidance. "You must face the phantom when time stands still," Edgar whispered. "But beware. It will try to deceive you, to trick you into using the watch again." Nathaniel wound the timepiece one last time. As the world froze, he felt the temperature drop, and the shadows deepened. The phantom materialized, more terrifying than before, its form now more human, like a twisted version of Eliza. It reached out to Nathaniel, its touch icy cold. "The watch hungers for your soul," the phantom rasped. "Give it to me, and your sister shall be free." Nathaniel hesitated, but remembered Merrick's words. In a moment of clarity, he realized that the phantom was the manifestation of the watch's curse, feeding off the despair and fear of its victims. If he gave in, Eliza would be lost forever. With all his strength, Nathaniel swung the watch towards the nearest clock, aiming for the moment between ticks. The phantom screeched, its form distorting as the timepiece shattered in Nathaniel's hand. The air filled with a deafening silence, then a rush of sound as time resumed. When Nathaniel opened his eyes, he was lying on the floor of the workshop. The clocks had stopped ticking, their faces cracked. Edgar was gone, his body dissipated into dust, his soul finally freed from the curse he had lived with for so long. Eliza, now awake and healthy, found Nathaniel and helped him to his feet. The timepiece was no more, its power destroyed. But the memories of what had transpired would haunt them both for the rest of their lives. As they left the workshop, Nathaniel glanced back at the broken clocks. He knew that while the curse had been lifted, the dark legacy of the timepiece would remain, a reminder that some things are best left undisturbed.